happened a while back when I was still a junior in college. After becoming an upperclassman, students living on campus didn't have to live in a dorm room or a sorority or fraternity house anymore if they didn't want to, because they were given the option to rent an actual apartment at the college. That's exactly what I did, the first chance I got. The apartments were nice. Swell appliances, my personal favorite being the handy-dandy microwave oven. A lot more space than a dorm and more privacy. The particular apartment assigned to me was 2 stories instead of one like some of the others. The ones with only 1 floor were pretty big in diameter. Mine was more narrow, but it was great. And I kind of felt like more of an adult because I had house keys. Anywho, I had quite a bit of classes, clubs, sports, and other miscellaneous activities during the day, so I wasn't home a lot during the week. But on weekends, I basically had the whole place to myself, unless I had a not very rare cross-country meet or art show 2 states away. My roommate Sydney was a total insomniac, though, so she'd do her thing during the day and usually went on walks or out with friends at night. She'd often come home back late, or early, depends on how you look at it, at like 4 in the morning. I honestly had no freaking clue when she ever slept. So our apartment was usually empty or occupying one sleepy person. We got robbed a lot. Like, a lot. Super often. Probably twice a month. I complained a bunch to the administrators, but they couldn't really do anything, and in the back of my mind, I kind of knew that. The front door's lock wasn't broken, the windows had locks, the robberies just happened. They'd pick the lock or find an open window on a hot day, even if it was on the 2nd story, and steal our crappy 1990s television set or even our microwave oven. Clearly, they were running out of things to take. We were college students. We didn't have too many valuables. I mainly complained because it wasn't really the ideal situation, but I'd never woken up to see anything stolen. And Sid never woke up because she was always awake. So the majority of the robberies were in broad daylight when I was at class, which was a little strange. Or sometimes when I came back from 4-day road trips. It wasn't so unnerving because no one ever broke in while I was sleeping, but it was still annoying. Looking back on it now, it was weird how the robberies took place at really precise times, like when Sid went home for the weekend and I was in Missouri for a fundraiser, or while I was at a night class and my roommate was at a friend's. It was quite clear whoever was breaking in and stealing our shit knew our schedules to some extent, because there was never an incident while either of us were there. But even so, I still should have gotten out of there before what happened did happen. Sydney was at a concert, and I didn't expect her to be home until the horizon started to brighten. I was going to a haunted house with some buddies for Halloween, something the college was putting on to raise money for nicer books and maybe better locks on the doors, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. But my friend Sarah bailed last minute, presumably to go fuck someone, and her cousin Matt had gotten himself sick, so we rescheduled pretty late into the night. I wasn't feeling so great either, though, so I wasn't too bummed and took to curling up on my sofa and watching Slumdog Millionaire. I ended up falling asleep there on the 1st floor and awoke a few hours later when Satan was literally scraping at my uterus with a rusty knife. I retrieved some Tylenol from the bathroom and filled a glass in the kitchen. Downing the pills, I turned to go upstairs to my bedroom when I noticed my roommate standing by the fridge. I was half asleep and in pain, so I tried to say something like, "I thought you'd be home later." Sid didn't say anything, though. She just stood there, barely moving or breathing. "You okay?" I asked, sounding almost like a regular human being again. But she didn't react in any way. I shrugged and pushed past her to get into the fridge, suddenly very hungry. I took out an apple and munched on it, still chatting with her, asking how the concert was. A few times I thought I saw her nod, but it was dark and I couldn't make out her face. "Okay, well, night, I guess." She was still stiff as a board, unwavering as I headed up the stairs and into my room. The next morning I woke up around noon because why not? And grabbed a bowl of cereal. Sitting down at the small table, I noticed the kitchen looked different, and upon further inspection, realized our 2nd microwave oven was missing. "What the fuck?" was my first response, And after briefly talking to myself, my phone rang, scaring the absolute living shit out of me. "Hey," came Sydney's voice through the line. "Sorry, I know I said be home last night, but we got caught up and lost track of time. I have class in an hour. Can you come pick me up?" Guys, I talked to my microwave oven thief for like 30 minutes, thinking it was my roommate. So let's not meet.